How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. Everything is changing right now. There are two things I see people getting wrong that could cost them a lot of money during the next bull run. I want to talk about that. I also want to talk about some of the insane institutional demand, some of the insane demand for crypto in general right now, and some crazy numbers that are super bullish. I'm not here to spread hopium to everyone, but these numbers don't lie. If you don't mind, hit subscribe, turn on that bell notification underneath the video. While you're down there, crypto's pumping. I've been talking about leverage recently because I think it can be a tool used. Some people don't like it, but you can see I'm up 146% on this trade that I set up a few days ago over on Margex. I'll leave a link to it underneath the video. If you use that link, it's a really good link because you can also get bonuses, up to 50% bonus on your deposits to pay towards trading fees for the first couple weeks. So definitely check that out underneath the video. This is where I do most of my longs, but also I have been trying out Blofin recently. Blofin is giving this deal. I realize I've talked about this a handful of times, but you could get an iPhone 15 for free just for trading. And they have a ton of trading pairs. Neither of these require KYC or VPNs. Blofin just soared to 6th place among derivative exchanges in terms of trading pairs. So they have so many different cryptos you can trade over on Blofin. If you have one of those accounts, try the other one. See if you like both of them. And even if you don't have these accounts, it might be something worth setting up for the next bull run in case you see some kind of pattern like this, where you see we constantly hit this trend line and then we bounce off. It might be worth doing a little bit of trading just to work on your skills. Now, crypto is pumping here today. Bitcoin hit new 52-week highs, new yearly highs, new multi-year highs almost. We're almost at 40,000. Ethereum went up to 2,100. Now, Bitcoin dominance is moving up. Bitcoin's up nearly 3% on the day. And the whole crypto market is just barely up at all. So we're pumping. Now, some people want to know how high we could pump. And while it's impossible to know, we can look at the previous Bitcoin halvings. 2012 Bitcoin halving, the price was 182. After a year, it was 510. 2016 Bitcoin halving, price was 661. After a year, it was 2,600. 2020 Bitcoin halving, price 8,600. After a year, 58,000. So typically we do see a nice jump. Here it's only about a 3x. Here it was actually more like a 4x. Here it was even higher. So people talk about diminishing returns. The fact is we have been seeing more people get in, and while there have been diminishing returns from bottom to peak, apparently the Bitcoin halving to a year later continues to explode. And right now we're already at nearly 40,000. We are set up to have an insane rally. I mean, if we got the same kind of rally like a 6 or 7x, that could put us around $250,000 to $300,000. Now, I'm not saying we'll get there necessarily, but it does make you kind of bullish, doesn't it? A lot of people think that we're never going to get back up to prior all-time highs. Some people say that, like bearish people on the market still think we're going down to 15,000, 16,000. But there's just a lot of demand, and I want to talk about that with Cleanspark to start. Cleanspark announced earnings yesterday. They're up 22% here today. So they actually dumped 10% after earnings came out because they had a bigger loss than expected. It was pretty significant until you realize that it was because they're depreciating their assets. I mean, most of their assets are rigs. They have tens of thousands. I don't remember off the top of my head, but they have tens of thousands of miners, and they depreciate every year. So you have to take a loss on that. So they fell down in price. Now they're up 22%. They actually broke $1 billion market cap. I believe that's the first time that they've done that in a while. Okay, so they did go up to almost this price back in July for a day, but that was probably the only day that they've been over $1 billion market cap since last bull run. This is really bullish. Now, they are continuing to beat expectations. They mined 666 Bitcoin. This is a 24% increase over the same period last year. And you have to remember that this is actually really impressive because the difficulty has gone much higher. As time goes on, difficulty continues to move up. So if you have the same amount of rigs, you're probably going to mine less Bitcoin. Now they also are holding on to Bitcoin. So, they are actually leveraging their balance sheet a little bit more too by using Bitcoin. Over the last month, let's see what Bitcoin's up. So right now they are just on a tear. Over the last month, Bitcoin's up 10%. So they've made about $4,000 per Bitcoin. So, I mean, we're talking about a lot of money, maybe $10 million, if I'm doing that right off the top of my head. $10 million or so just in appreciation off their Bitcoin over the last month. Obviously, it's been really bullish for them, but they're not the only company that's going up. So if you think that, this is just moving up or Cleanspark is just moving up because of their great results, that's a big part of it. But there's a lot more going on. And this is one of those stocks that I hold as kind of a Bitcoin proxy. And I want to talk about some other stocks here in a second, some other ways of thinking that you have to evolve as time goes on, as the markets change. This can be really key, but I don't want to lose anyone here because that's going to be really important. But Cleanspark, Coinbase, GBTC, ETH, these are all stocks that I've held as a really good way to invest in the crypto market, but also have some of the tax advantages of investing in retirement accounts. I realize that this isn't the same thing as holding Bitcoin, but these move up when Bitcoin moves up, and like Cleanspark moves up faster than Bitcoin does. Bitcoin's up, 1.2x on the year, something like that. So 120% up on the year. I shouldn't say 1.2x. It's done like a 2x, 2.2x. But Cleanspark is up much more than that. Year to date, up nearly 4x, almost a 300% gain. So these are stocks that I like to hold, and I almost made a video on this. I was going to, but then I forgot to. Honestly, I had a very busy day and then I forgot to do it. But this is a really good way of setting yourself up to take profits during the next bull run. Buy stocks like Cleanspark, GBTC, Coinbase in a retirement account, and then you don't have to worry about the capital gains or the short-term capital gains, and that can be some of the first things that you shed to take profits. And it's just really nice to be able to take profits from some explosive stock and then invest it into something maybe a little bit lower risk. So that's something that I've talked about in the Patreon a lot. If you want to get access to that, I'll leave a link to the Patreon underneath the video. This is a monster video, by the way. This is going to be a long one because I have a lot to cover, but I do want to thank KAGA. There have been some cryptos that have made some pretty big announcements recently that have had some nice price action, but there's one crypto recently that I looked at that has been going absolutely insane, and it's actually one that you've probably never heard of. Over the last 1 month, it's up 11,000%. It's called KAGA, or Crypto Asset Governance Alliance. This is a DAO that has been getting on so many large exchanges recently. I mean, take a look at this. It's on BitGet as of November 30. It's on MEXC. It's also going on Bitmart, and a lot of people are just posting about the price. It's gone absolutely nuts recently. Let's take a look at some of the other exchanges. So it's on Gate.io, Uniswap, BitGet, MEXC, Bitmart coming soon, Bilaxi, OpenOcean. So the price action has been nuts. It's been drawing some more eyeballs. For example, OG James, who has 632,000 followers over on Twitter, recently posted a full video on it. This is a partner of the channel. I plan on making a full video on them here soon, because they're doing so extremely well. They recently allowed staking as well. Just go check it out. I'll leave links to it underneath the video. Of course, do your own research. I'm not telling you to buy or sell. This is a partner of the channel. Crazy, the price action and some of the adoption it's been getting. It's always a good sign when they're going on a bunch of exchanges that they are getting a lot of attention, that they have deep pockets to get on some of these exchanges and deep connections. So definitely go check it out. Now, Cleanspark's not the only company that's up a lot today, the only stock. I mean, yes, part of the reason it's up so much is, well, the majority of the reason it's up so much today is because of their good earnings. And part of it is because Bitcoin's moving up. Also, we have a lot of other crypto companies that are up a lot. Like, for example, Bakkt Holdings up 20% on the day. Riot up 9% on the day, 10%. Coinbase up 5.5% on the day. ETH up 4.4% on the day, 4.2% on the day. And while Ethereum is up, it's up 3% compared to ETH. So what does this mean? Well, institutions are aping in. They are buying more than ETH is going up because they want some kind of crypto related stock. Same thing with Coinbase, right? Coinbase is up 5%, but the whole crypto market is up 2%. Some of these other stocks up 20%. Like, the institutional demand is nuts right now. Everyone wants a piece of crypto, and the fact is there's not much to go around. Like, sure, you can buy Riot. It's a $3 billion market cap. You can buy Backed Holdings. It's $500 million. You can buy Cleanspark. It's $1 billion. So right there with the other Bitcoin miners, maybe there's $10, $15 billion worth of market cap for people to ape into. When you throw in Coinbase, that's another 30. So that's 45 billion. Throw in ETH, throw in GBTC. And yeah, there's like, 80 billion, 100 billion worth of market cap for these institutions to buy. But the fact is, if they buy billions of dollars, which they have, if they buy billions of dollars of these stocks, it spikes the price. And it's really hard to buy more and more and more. So a lot of big institutions own these stocks, and they're just exploding the price. They're behind a lot of us retail investors who have been investing in them throughout the bear market. These are companies, again, that I've held. Some of them, like Cleanspark. I don't have actually Coinbase right now, but I do have GBTC and ETH and MicroStrategy as well. I forgot that one, but MSTR up a good amount today too, 5.7%. So I hold these stocks, and now there's just so much demand for them. It's kind of nuts. And we already know that institutional demand is high, but these are the companies that you can ride up, especially pre ETF approval. These are going to continue to fly because there's so much demand. Now, post ETF approval, I still think these will go up. There might be a day or two where they fall down because some people take profits from these and then move them over to something like Bitcoin. That's just something to pay attention to. But I think the demand is just nuts right now, and there's nowhere to put all this demand. So it just keeps on skyrocketing the price. Now, I want to talk about a couple things that people are doing wrong, things that people aren't getting right. In this video, I had a sponsor, right? I also have some affiliate links. Some people during the bear market have absolutely hated any kind of paid advertising. And I think people have to change this thinking, because during the bear market, I kind of get it. There's some cash grabs. Some people just try to spin up different meme coins and stuff like that. However, in a bull run, advertising should not be thought of as a money grab. Basically, there are a lot of good projects that just have really good business models that want to spread their process, their thoughts to more people. And advertising is one way to do it. There are so many different cryptocurrencies out there. I mean, 20,000, 30,000, 40,000. There are new ones spun up all the time whenever anything happens. So the fact is, you need to set yourself apart, and then you need to tell people what sets you apart. So I kind of like now during the bull market, when companies have money to advertise, that actually makes me more bullish, because it tells me that they have deep pockets. They probably have some connections when they have already been listed on some big exchanges. That's bullish to me because it means that they're probably a project that's probably going to stick around. Again, they have some deeper pockets to continue to grow. And I kind of think of it as like most things in life, we don't care if they advertise. Like, no one gets pissed off at Apple for advertising. But for some reason, people get pissed off especially if like a public company goes and advertises. With creators, they get pissed off. But if they advertise on a billboard, they don't get pissed off. Or if some cryptocurrency wants to make a video explaining what they do, people get pissed off. Even if I make a video like on Treasure wallets, like the cold storage wallet solutions, some people do get pissed off because it's a paid review. But the fact is, it's just someone that I would talk about anyways, and I just like working with them. It's kind of a win-win scenario. And the other thing that I want to talk about, another thing that some people are going to get wrong, I was very much I've been a Bitcoin bull for years, but I have been bearish on altcoins throughout this bear market, mostly because Bitcoin dominance continued to move up. And I thought that was going to continue. It did. I went almost all Bitcoin, about 85 to 90% Bitcoin during the bear market. But now that's starting to change. I'm starting to get more bullish on some altcoins. Now, while Bitcoin dominance continues to move up, I realize that there's a point where it's going to eventually dip. Right now, though, we are at a spot where we're at 53% Bitcoin dominance, and this has been the right way to think about it. Bitcoin dominance has gone up, so it's been really good to be a Bitcoin dominance bull. I went almost all Bitcoin when we were in either early 40s or late 30s in terms of Bitcoin dominance. So while a lot of altcoins got wrecked, I was just in Bitcoin sitting it out. Now, that's been really good, but things are changing. And I think we have to realize that during a bull market, utility isn't the most important thing all the time. Tokenomics aren't the most important thing all the time. Of course, those are things you want to look at, especially if you're investing long term. But in a bull market, crazy gains can be made from being a little bit quirky, from investing in stuff a little bit higher risk, whether it's leverage trading or meme coins or something like that. Like I was just talking to another creator that has invested in GTA 6 coin because he knows that there's a trailer coming out in the next week for GTA 6. And he bought, and now it's like 10x or something like that. I'll actually leave a link to him underneath the video. A really good creator. If you haven't watched him before, NHcrypto. He speaks mostly in Spanish. I think he speaks almost entirely in Spanish on his YouTube channel, but he also speaks English. I'll leave a link to it underneath the video. If you speak Spanish, check him out. He's going to be big. But he invested or bought this. He realized the risks. He realized that it was a flip of a coin, whether it was going to do well. And now he's like 5 to 10x his investment. It was a small investment. He does what I do, which is like, if you're going to invest in something really risky, put a small amount in it, take profits along the way. But those are the things you can do in a bull market that you can't do in a bear market. Things just change completely in a bull market. Now, of course, you want to keep your head about you because eventually you will lose track of, how much money you're actually investing. I realize that sounds weird, but if you haven't been through a bull market, the gains and the amount of money kind of doesn't make sense anymore in your own head. Like, you don't really pay attention to it as much. So investing $1,000 in some cryptocurrency might seem like a big deal in a bear market, but in a bull market, it's like, oh, I just made 10 grand. I'm going to go reinvest $1,000 into this crap coin. Or I'm going to go leverage 50x $1,000. And you have to stop yourself and remember that this is actually valuable. Like $1,000 is a lot of money for a lot of people. So you have to take a step back, make sure that you still realize what you're doing and that you don't get too excited, and make sure that you actually realize that you are being risky. Like what you're doing with $100 now, you might do with $1,000 in 12 months because the value of money just kind of goes away. You don't really care as much. It's just a percentage of your portfolio, but you have to realize that that money could make a huge difference during the next bear market. So you kind of have to start thinking, do you want to be someone that invests in narratives, or just fundamentals? So right now, I'm mostly Bitcoin, but I am going to turn more degen during the next bull market. Now, I'm going to try to still keep my wits about me. I'm not going to invest 5% into some 200K market cap crypto or something like that. But yeah, I might throw in a couple $100 into some like GTA 6 coin or something like that, or some new meme coin or something like that. I might be a little bit riskier. Now, I'm going to be very clear on the channel when I'm being risky and when I'm invested in certain cryptocurrencies and what I think about them. I'll be very honest with you as much as possible. I'm not going to try to pump some small crypto that I'm invested in or anything like that. So if I do buy something small, I might not even mention it on the channel. I probably won't, because I don't want to be thought of as pumping and dumping or anything like that, because I will be aggressively taking profits too. If I make some 100x or 50x or even 20x trade on some meme coin, I'm going to take some profits for sure. I'm going to sell some. So just be ready. Times are changing. People are getting greedy. Meme coin season isn't here, but it kind of seems like it is because there are some memes that are going absolutely nuts. Even going back to when Grok blew up, fall time, maybe late summer, something like that. There have been some more meme coins, but I'm seeing it kind of tick up again, where I've seen 3 or 4 or 5 meme coins recently that have done really well that people have told me about and have made a lot of money. So be ready for that narrative change. Again, I'm still mostly invested in Bitcoin and Ethereum, and then CDFI has actually become one of my top holdings too recently. It's only about 3% of my portfolio, maybe 4%, but I do really like it. So I'm going to make another video here soon on some of the top cryptocurrencies to buy, and some of them will be smaller cap cryptos. Now, I'm not talking sub 1 million or anything like that, but some will be like $20-30 million market caps possibly. Let me know your thoughts though in the comment section below. I appreciate you guys watching. Again, check out KAGA underneath the video. Also, you can check out the links to Blofin and to Margex, and I'll leave a link to NHcrypto as well. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.